Right, okay, are we recording? Right, okay, just problems with the staff, unfortunately. The camera woman's not that good today. She doesn't realise I can edit videos. Anyway, so I've had a delivery in there, not been opened yet. So this is going to be another product review. Well, kind of. Unfortunately, Margo, she's poorly. She's had to go away. We discovered some damp in the wardrobe area and a bit of damp in the back corner, and as everyone knows, damp really does need to be sorted out in the motorhome. So she's gone away to have that fixed. Hopefully she'll be back with us soon, and then we can do a proper review of this one. In fact, I will record an entire video of me fitting this, which should be fun. So the opening time. So just kind of look at me as well. I'm going to open this box. I've not seen this yet myself. Something which I've ordered from Amazon. And you can see it's you can see what sort of time of year it is because of the stickers. So we're getting close to Christmas. So I'll just take this box. And I don't know why Amazon do this. Look at the size of the box. Yeah, massive. Look at the size of the thing in it. Absolutely tiny. Now this is a bit of an explanation. Most motorhomes, when you buy them, they have a rear view mirror. Unfortunately, the rear view mirror looks out the back end of a motorhome, so you can't actually see out of it. So I've gone and bought one of these. It's the Pelsee P12 Pro mirror dashcam. So it's actually a dashcam, so it records where you're driving, same as any other dashcam. And there's also a rear camera in this one apparently. So, and there are some other features. Now, like I say, I won't be able to do a full review because Margo's not with us. But we can at least have a look what's in the box, can't we? Maybe be able to power it on and have a look. So let's slide that sleeve off and put that over there out of the way. And let the box open. So it's all cushioned box, so quite well protected in shipping. That's quite a surprise actually, I didn't expect it to be like that. So first thing in the box is the camera, the mirror unit itself. And a little protective plastic bag. Got protective film over it, which I'm not going to remove just yet. Clips at the back for mounting to your existing rear view mirror. And an adjustable camera there, so you can actually point that out your windscreen to record what's going on. On the top of the unit, you'll see there's several ports. There's, do you know, I can't read what it says. There's one there which says GPS, so there must be a separate GPS unit. There's one there which says AV, so that'll be for the camera, the reversing camera. There's one there which is for a SD card for recording your videos, micro SD card, and keeping up with the times, a USB-C slot. So that's much better than the micro USB. Doesn't matter which way round you put them in, you're not going to break that socket by putting it in the wrong way round. Absolutely fantastic. This is why USB-C is the way forward, and why everybody's actually adopting that standard, even Apple nowadays. They're not by choice, I don't think. So, a bit more packaging material. And I'll just put that to one side for now. So these are, in here we have a included 32 gig SD card for using in the unit. A tool for pulling the trim back on your car whilst you're fitting the extra camera wires. So that'll help to pull the rubber trims back, to slide the wires out of the way and hide it. Now there's 4 of these, but I'll only show you 2 of them. I'll leave the other 2 in the bag because they're identical, so there's no point. So there's 2 different sizes, and that'll be for the different types of mirrors. I'm going to guess I'll need the big one on Margo. 1 for each side. I'll put those back in the bag, keep them safe for when Margo comes back. We have a GPS unit, so that attaches up in the windscreen or somewhere high up in the car, in the vehicle. Enables it to receive a GPS satellite and give a true fix of where you are. Useful for car recordings, so that should you have a collision, you can prove which road you're on, how fast you were going, all the telemetry that you need to help fight your case. A reversing camera, or I should say a rear view camera, which attaches to the outside of the vehicle. There's a mount there for attaching it. There is some 3M stickers as well for attaching it, and some screws to allow you to, if you want to, screw directly into... Hello, you can travel, look, have you? This is Daphne, she's come to see what's going on. So the stickers, 3M stickers are supposed to be good. Used them while snowboarding, on my snowboarding helmet. Camera hasn't fallen off yet, but on the back of a motorhome I may take some additional measures. I don't really want to screw into the bumper, but I think I've got something else which might help out on that one. And the power supply. Which is, as I said, a USB-C connection. It's got an additional USB port on the top there, so when you plug it into your, used to be the cigarette lighter socket, it's the now called the power socket in most vehicles. You can still charge your phone whilst going along. So we'll put that back in there so we don't lose anything, because none of that's much good for now. But what we can do, we'll get the camera out, the rear view camera. We'll plug it into the top of here. Now, one thing I will say about the rear view camera is I have complete and utter faith that that wire is not going to be long enough to reach up to the back of Margo. So I'm going to have to go and do a bit of shopping to find a extension. And that looks like a 3-pole 2.5mm jack plug. So these aren't too bad to get hold of on the famous Amazon. Again, easy to get these things. Now it slides in there, so you can see that's all connected up. Connect up the GPS sensor as well. It might get a signal indoors, I don't know. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. Well, you'll notice I'm not going to undo any of the wires because I've ended up putting them back together afterwards. And, bear with me 1 second, I do have, in the background here, the USB-C connector. So I'm just going to plug this in and see what happens. I've not peeled the front off. Perhaps I should do, because it's actually a solid connection, solid... Well, actually it looks just like a mirror. See, it's not powered on yet. Just looks like a mirror. The power button's on the bottom here. So that's when it's in passing mode. It does just look like a mirror, so that'll be pretty good. Let's turn it on. Hopefully it comes on. This is a time when you think you should read the manual, actually. Well, that's not coming on, is it? I wonder why that's not coming on. Well, let's get the manual out. I'd hate to have to send another thing back to Amazon because it's not working. there appears to be a little cleaning cloth as well for wiping it clean, which is good, because mirrors always get fingerprints all over them, especially these ones which are touchscreen. So bear with me while I just have a look at the manual. The SD card in before I power it on. You might notice I've had to move locations, and that's because my USB-C wire wasn't working. So I'll put this in, and 9 times out of 10 I get these the wrong way around first time, but they do stop you putting them in if you get them the wrong way around. Well, that's gone in right. Hey, so right, so USB-C wire plugged in. Okay, and it powers on. Now that started up very quickly. It's actually already recording in 4K. You can only see my hand at the moment. If I just move my hand, you can see some of the stuff we've got behind there. See what direction we're going. It's currently in kilometres an hour. Now this is touchscreen, so if I touch it, it brings up a menu. You can stop and start the recording. So I've just started another recording. So as the collision, I want to save this as an emergency. It's actually recording voice at the moment. You can change the brightness by swiping up and down. What happens if swipe left to right, you get the rear view camera. So that's the rear view camera. I haven't taken the film off yet, so the plastic's not going to be great. Swipe it again, what do we get? We get both. So the front view camera and the rear view camera at the same time. Get it right way up, might look a bit better. Can you see what it's got on the screen? I'll just go back to that again. So that's just the front view camera. Swipe across, you get the rear view camera, and swipe again, you get both. Which is pretty good. Now there is other features on this which I haven't looked at the manual yet. So if I click on the home button, what does that take us? That takes us to a menu. You can see the date and time's wrong. That'll be because it's not got a GPS signal yet. We can go into Dashcam, was the mode we were just in. We've got Smart Drive, which is where we set up the advanced driver assistance and the lane guidance. So this actually will use the rear camera and the front camera to keep an eye on how you're driving and warn you if there's people in your blind spots, things like that. But you have to calibrate it, so I can't do that until I've got Margo back. Just click the back button. Got a file explorer, that'll be just for looking at what videos you've stored. You can see there's already a few in there which I've stored. Camera settings, so this is how you set up your camera. So your recording resolution 4K and 1080p. So 4K will be your forward facing camera, 1080p will be your reversing camera. There's all sort of options which you can scroll through, and I shall leave on 4K 1080p at the moment. Loop record, that's how long a video will last before it starts another one. It's to help you to identify where there's issues or there's been an incident. If you press the lock button, you know you've only got 3 minutes worth of video to search through. Light source frequency, so that's the same as any camera. At the moment we're in the UK, 50 Hz lighting. So if you set your camera to 50 Hz, you shouldn't see any flicker. Oh, it's gone off. Let's bring it back on. Current video, yeah. What's that one say? G sensors sensitivity. So that's collision detection. So if you have a crash, it's got a G sensor in here, which will automatically save the video. If should it feel a lot sensitive for a knock, you can change that. Usually low, medium, high. Parking mode. So that's when you're actually parked. If you have the hardwire kit, you can wire this directly to your fuse box and it'll stay live all the time. So if you're in Morrison's car park, for instance, and somebody reverses into you, drives off without actually leaving you a note, with a bit of luck, because this will have detected the collision, it'll record a video of Fred Bloggs or whoever driving off without leaving you their details. In which case you should have their number plate and be able to contact the police and your insurance company and let them deal with it appropriately. It's gone off again, so let's bring it back on. Obviously there's always timeouts because you're driving, so you're not supposed to be concentrating on this. You're concentrating on the road at all times. Just go back into the camera settings. So WDR, so all these are just settings to do with how it looks. Recording, whether it will record or not. Video watermark, I normally put my number plate on there so you know it's from this vehicle. And rear mirror is off at the moment, but if you put it on, it will use this, the reversing camera, permanently to show rear view mirror. That is a feature I will be making use of, because that is something I have not got at the moment in Margo. If I look through my rear view mirror, all I can see is Daphne and Freddie, or a tap, or a wardrobe. It's absolutely useless. So we go back to the main menu. The only other option there at the moment is the system settings. So stream media switch, I will have to have a look what that is because I have no idea. You got volume setting, so that's for changing the volume of the beeps. Startup sound, whether you want it or not. Maybe just annoy me. Key tone is the beep, which you may be able to hear, maybe not, when I'm pressing the screens, whether it's on or off. You got auto power off, where it turns itself off after 1 minute. Speed units. How long the screen stays awake for, what your speed unit is. We'll set that to a good old British miles per hour. Speed error adjustment. So if you're driving at 15 mile an hour and you find out that this is showing 17 mile an hour, you can set that error adjustment and just bring it back into the proper speed. Because sometimes there is issues with you get on that. It's occasional, sometimes happens. Most of the time it's okay though. Language setting, I'm going to leave it in English because I don't speak anything else except for maybe gibberish sometimes. Time zone select, while we're in GMT at the moment. We are in GMT because it is winter. Voice control, so this actually has got voice control. Haven't looked at on how to use it, but I will have a look how to do that, come back to you in a bit. Disk formatting, so that's the SD card which I've just put in. Go into there and it should just say, have I got the right thing? Does it say disk formatting? I clicked on date and time setting. So disk formatting, removable card will lose all SD card data. Yeah, well we know it will do, but I'll say no for now. Date and time setting, I did skip over that one. So you can change your date and time format as to how you like it to be. Most people in the UK will do day, month, year. But in America it does month, day, year. So I have day, month, year for the UK. 24 hour or 12 hour clock. I'm fine with 24 hour clock. So I'm absolutely okay with that. So we'll click off that. Version information, so that'll tell you what software versions are on there. And the factory restore resets everything back to as it came out of the factory. So that should be easy enough. Okay then, so I kind of guessed that it wouldn't detect any GPS within the building, because they never do. It's a 2-storey house, GPS signals, I think it's 10 watt being beamed across the entire planet's surface. You wouldn't notice it yourself, so it's not very powerful. but it does do voice recording, so or even voice sensitivity. So let's just see what it says. Show rear camera. So there we go, it's changed over to the rear camera. Show both cameras. Show both cameras. There we go. So both cameras are now on. If I try again, show front camera. So that's handy. That can be handy when you're driving along. Saves you having to touch anything to move anything around. There is actually a red wire attached to the rear reversing camera, which will connect to your reversing lights. So when your reversing lights come on, it actually puts it into reversing mode. And at that point you can see behind you, it automatically goes to the rear camera and helps you to reverse into tight parking spots and saves your co-pilot from standing outside whilst it's raining, getting soaked through to the skin, while you're nice and warm and dry, listening to the radio and not hearing a bang on the side of a motorhome when you're about to run into something. So, guys, like I say, I can't do that much of a test on it at the moment because we haven't got Margo. Margo hopefully will be back with us soon with all of the damp sorted out. And then we shall record another video, probably be a complete episode of me. I'll have to get a bleeper going, I think. I think I'll need to find a bleeper for this one because I'm sure there'll be some challenges along the way of threading cables along the motorhome and finding places to hide them and making sure that we've got the things in the right place so we're not going to get broken. Okay then, guys, I shall catch you later, and if you like the video, like and subscribe. Keep on watching. Catch you later. All the best from Dog in the Motorhome.